Hi, everybody. Welcome to this playtest and recording of our first session of Once More Into the Void. This is really great. I'm trying to avoid saying I'm so excited because I was looking at the video. I say I'm so excited at the start of every video. Um, I'm really happy to be playing with the Gauntleteers here. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. We play all the time. We set up games, and the community has been super friendly and super supportive in terms of letting me playtest my games. So it's been great. I will include links to the Gauntlet Hangouts in the links in the description below, and so you can join us. And what we're going to do first is we'll have a brief round of introductions, and then we'll get into the game proper. So I'll start with myself. My name is Jamie, they, them pronouns, please. And I am the creator of Once More Into the Void. I made this because I was watching Star Trek Picard, and my partner turned to me and said, wouldn't it be great if you could play an RPG about an aging captain getting the crew back together, like how Picard was doing. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And as I started working on the game, I was also inspired by Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect is like, Mass Effect and Dragon Age are some of my favorite games. So there's a lot of that in here. Yeah, and Puckett's also suggesting one last job in the chat. It's true, this is one last job in space. That's the difference. So we'll go ahead with introductions. Sherry, why don't you go ahead?
Hi, my name is Sherry. I use the she, her pronouns, and I played another game that has a similar structure called, Take My Revolution. I loved it. And so when I heard that Jamie was combining another set of the genres that I loved into this format, I knew I had to be here. So I'm here. We'll see how we do, how I do.
Awesome. And then next, Maria.
Hello, I'm Maria. I use she, her pronouns. I've played a lot of games with Jamie, and they've all been very exciting. And I also have this thing about space opera and dramas, and I'm very excited to smash those all together and have feelings in space.
Yes, this is fully about feelings in space. That's a good point. And last but not least, Puckett.
Hi, I'm Puckett. I am a big fan of Jamie's games, particularly Bullock Bayon, and I am shocked, I say, to find out and learn that Maria is looking forward to having feelings in space.
That's right. Like we'd never have enough feelings with Maria. So, so a little bit about Once More Into the Void. So Once More Into the Void is based on these games by Megway and Vincent Baker, namely, I'm trying to remember the full name, Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands, and The King is Dead. I always have to resist saying Mobile Suit Gundam. That's really what happens when I start trying to say the game. And basically, this is a GM-less game. It's a very straightforward game, and we're hoping that we can show that here. Let me see. First, I'm trying to share. Did this work? Yes. Okay. So I'm trying to share the screen. What we're going to do first is I will read out our premise. So the galaxy is in peril. Will we come together or fall apart? We were once the heroes of this galaxy. We stood against its height of darkness and prevailed again and again. We were comrades. We were family. But our family fell apart. Our shared past is full of shame, trespasses, and secrets. We parted ways, vowing to never see each other again. And now our greatest enemy has returned, manipulating from the shadows. They grow stronger than ever. No one else believes that the threat is real. Only the captain has a chance at defeating this enemy once and for all. The captain will have to bring the crew back together again, but will they go with them into the void once more? Can the crew trust the captain again, who left disappointment and heartbreak in their wake? So basically, we need to... this game is like, it's a very free-flowing game. We just have to be inspired, let our intuition guide us. But the first thing that we have to decide is who we're going to play. right? So which character calls out to us? We have to choose from the captain. The captain must be picked all the time. Whether or not the captain survives until the end is another question, but someone has to start out as the captain. And we also have the veteran. The veteran is the one who has been with the captain the longest. And we have the reformed. The reformed used to be the enemy, used to work with them, used to be a part of them. It's up to us to define what that enemy is, and if, especially if we're going to pick the reformed. And the next option we have is the believer. The believer is a little different because the believer never actually got to be with the crew and be with the captain. They were almost going to, they were on the verge of it. They're probably the youngest or the least experienced. They're probably the most naive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Matthew, I'm recording.
Sorry, you're just excited.
Yeah. Okay. As I was saying. And then next we have the broken. So the broken is the most angry at the captain, has probably had the worst done to them. This one is most inspired by Raffi from Star Trek Picard, that sense of someone who has reached a point of self-sabotage. And the last but not least, we have the strange. So this one is someone who struggles to be seen as human. It could mean, of course, we could all play aliens, right? So when I say human, I'm still trying to figure out a better word for it, but someone who's seen like the rest of us, right? So Puckett suggested Edie from Mass Effect 2. That's true. I was thinking about Edie. I was thinking about Data from Star Trek, or like, yeah, something along those lines, or someone really strange and out there. In previous games, I've heard of people making time traveling aliens. So whatever we want to do. So let's see. What I'd like to do first is I'd like to ask, is there any playbook, any character type that's really calling out to you? We can start with Sherry.
I know my limitations when I do a first pass through in a game, so I think that I would be most comfortable with essentially probably the reformed, the the reformed, the believer, or the strange. Just because of the themes there. So that would be the space I know how to move in. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So reformed, believer, strange, awesome. Maria, which one is calling out to you? Or which ones?
They're all so good. I'm kind of interested in the captain, but I'm a little like worried that it is a lot. But also the veteran could be interesting.
I see that you're drawn to the most emotional ones.
Oops.
I'd like to see you as Captain Maria, but yeah, I think you can handle it for sure. But let's also check in with Puckett. Which ones are you looking at?
I would also like to see a Captain Maria, but the second I saw it, I looked at their formed in theory and I thought, hey, that could be cool. And then I saw the broken. And before I go any farther with it, I want to check in with everybody. Are themes of alcoholism, drug abuse, and self-destruction okay with everyone? That's the broken, right?
Yeah, that's true. This is a good point. Thank you for actually bringing it up. We're going to go after our safety tools. Let me go ahead and figure out how to pull it onto the screen. Thanks for bringing that up, Puckett.
This is something I'd want like really explicit consent for, because I already have a character idea pretty solidified, but I want to make sure that people are okay with it, because it will get dark, and not grim dark, not like, gee, I'm going to be an edgelord or anything like that. But it's when you're looking at a character like that, like, well, I mean, it looks like your archetype is Jack, basically. Then,
that too.
I want to make sure that's okay and explicitly okay with everyone.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going over our safety tools now. So just as a reminder for everybody watching, well, not a reminder for us, but I'm saying it for the people watching. We are using lines and veils. So whatever is lined is something that is not going to show up in the game no matter what. Whatever is veiled can show up in the game, but we're not going to go into too much detail, or we're going to skim over it a little bit. And we also have an ask first column in case we need to ask first. And so let's go over our lines and veils. What we have here is, what we have lined is harm to animals, harm to children. We also have sexual assault. And in terms of what is veiled, we have sexual content, suicide, torture, and homophobia. Right. And we also have an ask first for sexual content, which makes a lot of sense. I will say that the game has been written to sort of like encourage a lot of like feelings, which can lead to that. But it's always best to check in. It's never anything gratuitous. I would suggest we have a PG-13 rating. So we're not going to go towards Game of Thrones level. We're going to stick here at like Buffy the Vampire level. I don't know why Buffy the Vampire Slayer came up. Like, that show hasn't been on air forever. But yeah, so Bucket, we don't have anything about alcoholism or drug abuse, but let's also have verbal check-in with Sherry Marie. Are we cool with Puckett playing a character like that?
Can we keep self-harm veiled, like cutting or things like that, potentially?
It's not. I wouldn't be doing anything like self-harm, but
okay.
It's my concept of the broken is somebody who really doesn't care what happens to them.
Yeah.
Anymore. So it's not that necessarily they would be doing anything to themselves so much as putting themselves in situations where they didn't care what happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like saying the wrong thing to a group of people and getting beaten up for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
How do you feel about it, Sherry?
I understand the trope and I can cope with it.
I feel like that's a good trope to cope with. Yes, makes sense. Yeah, so I'm also cool with it. Bucket. We also have script change in place, so if we find out later that we're not as comfortable, if we need to rewind and retcon anything, if we need to fast forward or rewind, we can do that as part of the script change. So there is that. But how do you feel about it, Puckett, now with the broken?
Oh, I want to play the broken.
It's going to be fun. I think you'll do a great job. Yeah, and then so let's see. For me, I forgot. I'm also a character. There's no GM in this game. I think I want to play the believer. I didn't think I would, but I think that would be fun to have, because now that I know there's a broken, I feel like I want to be someone who believes. I think that would be fun to play against. So with that in mind, Sherry, have you like narrowed it down to whatever you're really drawn to? Oh, whoops, I think you're muted.
I am. I'm also stunned by all of my options. So I'm like, oh, what can I do? I mean, the strange is always awesome and fun. The reformed. But that would be about what the enemy is, right?
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll figure that out, and I'll be one of those, whatever it is.
Nice. Okay. So we have the reformed, which means, Maria, that no one's the captain.
Yeah, I guess I'll be the captain.
I have a good feeling about it. I think you're going to be awesome. I think you're going to be great. So with that, okay, so I'm going to bring that. Wow, I'm trying to keep track of all the tabs. Okay. So we have our character keeper, which I threw together. So I'm going to I'm going to hide the ones that weren't picked. Just because, so it's easier to keep track. There we go, hide. Okay, so we have the captain, the reformed, the believer, the broken. So just place your names on top along with your pronouns, please. I'm going to put in my Jamie, say them. Okay. We can come up with character names later, but what I would like us to do is to read out the description for our characters so that people watching and listening can hear it. I will go in character keeper order, I think. So let's start with our captain.
All right. Do you want me to read all the way through or just until the part where we start picking things?
Ooh, oh, that's a good point. Oh, I put it here in the character keeper. Which part to
sorry.
read?
Yeah, I was looking at the PDF.
Yeah,
All right.
That's fine. That's cool.
You've tried leaving the stars behind, the void, all of it. After the dangers you faced and the sacrifices you've made, your adventures left you with a broken heart. Betrayed by your beliefs, you spent years nursing your regret. But the void calls you again, and all the worlds need saving. If you don't act now, we could lose it all. But you can't do it alone. You need to convince your crew to come together one last time. They have every right to hate you and no reason to trust you. You weren't there for them when they needed you most. But they can't help but believe in you, even after all that you did. Will you prove that they were right to trust you again, or will they die cursing your name?
Oh, yeah. So cool. Is it okay to feel so enamored with my own game? So like, yeah, awesome. Who wrote this? Oh yeah, it's me. But I felt like I wrote this in a fever dream, so it's like past me gave myself this gift that I don't remember making. Yeah, so playing the captain, it's a good idea for people listening. Play the captain if you want the pressure and prestige that comes with it and are ready to play out the story of the long journey of making amends and healing your damaged legacy. And next, let's hear about the reformed. Could you go ahead and read that for me, Sherry, please?
Sure. You've tried leaving behind the past, the shame, all of it. Betrayed your people, all that you stood for a captain who didn't stay around but you asked them to. To survive, you ran and spent years looking over your shoulder. But the captain called upon you once more, and this is your chance to live up to what they saw in you. You're more than where you came from and what you look like. You can save all the worlds, but the rest of the team sees only an enemy. Despite the captain's faith, they only see the doom that awaits. They still need you for your sharp mind and unique talents. Will you prove they were right to give you a chance, or will they die because of your inevitable betrayal?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll get into. There's a particular game where that's going to be extra likely, but we'll get into that in a bit. And next, I will read out The Believer, which sounds very different from everybody else. You've tried leaving behind the hope, the promises, all of it. You dreamed about serving the captain for years. When your dream was about to come true, it was crushed by powers and forces beyond your control. But the captain still has need of you, and this is your chance to prove that your dream can go the distance. You are more than blind faith and naivete. You can save all the worlds, but you have to prove yourself to the rest of the team. The captain recognizes your potential, but they only see one who is untested, undeserving, unqualified. But you've got what it takes. You and the captain will shine together no matter what. Will you prove how capable you truly are, or will the stars in your eyes blind you to the cruel fate that awaits you? And last but not least, we have The Broken. Could you read it out for us, Bucket, please?
All righty. You've tried leaving behind the pain, the humiliation, all of it. You believed in the captain the most, and in return you were left broken for it. For years you've been burying your pain in habits that slowly kill you. But the captain called upon you once more, and this is your chance to make them suffer and beg for your mercy. Sure, you can save all the worlds too. Maybe. But you're here for vengeance. Your captain still sees your past self shining through despite your pain. But the rest of the crew sees the real you and how far you have fallen. But you know that vengeance will rebirth you, that you will come through shining and whole again. Will you heal despite yourself and come through, or will you destroy yourself and the captain, as you wish?
Ooh, yeah, this is a great crew that's shaping up. Okay, so in terms of character generation, it's super easy. All that we need to do, let me once again pull up the other screen. So let's start with our captain, actually. I feel like that makes the most sense. So basically, because, we're all going to be bouncing off ideas from the captain. When it comes to character generation, you only need to have qualities, a name, and your look. It's very straightforward. So first, Maria will choose 2 qualities, and the person on your left will make it character keeper left. What side is that? We'll choose the third. I'm thinking that's going to be the next person. So it's going to be the reformed. We'll choose the next. Is that left? Does that make sense? Is that right? Like,
It's not my left, but sure.
All right, let's go with, these are exciting. I will be haunted and fiery.
I like it. I like it. Wait, so I'm like thinking, what's actual left? I think
Is
actual
it
left.
Puckett?
Yes, that's right.
If
Thank
we
you
go around.
Yes. Everyone's so polite to me and my lack of understanding of direction. So, Puckett, can you choose a third quality for our captain who is already fiery and haunted?
Weakened.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right.
That was such a quick answer. Okay, so our captain, you just need to type in those qualities in the character keeper, just so you can keep track of it.
Yep.
Normally, if you're playing this face-to-face, what you can do is you can take like an index card, fold it into a tent shape, and then just write those in the front so people you're playing with can see it. All right, and then next, Maria, you are going to choose 2 aspects of your look. And this time, I got it right. Sherry will choose a third aspect of your look.
All right. Oh, there's so many good options. I I want black gloves that hide secrets. A charming smile.
Nice. And how about I reformed? What do you think the third aspect of the look is?
Ooh, I have to go with haircut short to make a statement.
Cool.
Ooh, I like it. So you have enough to start with, but I'll let that, so you can just write it down. I'll let it percolate first,
Yeah.
Maria. And then when we come back to you, we'll have a name if you're ready with it, pronouns, and then you can describe a bit more about the captain. All right, so let's go to the next one in our character keeper is the reformed. Right, so same thing, Sherry, please pick 2 qualities and then the captain will choose a third one. I got that right this time, right?
Right. So we haven't really picked what sort of person, what kind of enemy we have, right?
Yeah. Would you like to talk about that now?
Sure.
Yeah.
So typically you always have an enemy that is essentially incredibly aggressive, trying to take over, and often sort of how do you say, working like a hive mind. Isn't that kind of the standard thing? So that's always good. So it's like just kind of sort of what their MO is.
Right, like what do they want or how they get it?
I like the idea of essentially maybe that they have a crystalline nature, but also bio. So biocrystal, and they can like reconfigure themselves very easily. And essentially, a lot of it is just about consuming more of the things that they need in order to replicate others of themselves. Since they're all kind of essentially their individuality is based on what kind of crystals and bio they're made of. And their experiences, of course.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense because, like, from what you say, it sounds like they can change what they look like. They can better infiltrate, and that probably explains why people have a hard time trusting you, because they know you can change what you look like if you want to.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. So I would say that my top two qualities that she chooses is probably calculating and I'm going to go with beautiful just because she knows that's a valuable thing.
I love it. Amazing. And let's see. So, Captain, what is the third quality that a reformed has?
I think I want you to be naive. Like, calculated about some things, naive about other things.
That makes sense.
Cool. I like it. Yeah, and we can kind of say, like, probably because the enemy, and it's up to us if it has a name, if they have a name, or if we just call them the enemy. Yeah, maybe their lives are so different from ours that it's easy for our reform to be naive about some things that goes on for the rest of the galaxy. Does that make sense for you, Sherry?
Yeah, it does actually.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
See, I want to make my qualities look just like Maria's do. She did such a great idea, but it's so much centering. Oh, jeez. Life is hard. Okay. And then for my look, what are my options? How about a musical voice? And mismatching eyes.
I like that. Oh, yeah. I like the idea. Like, maybe with the mismatching eyes, no matter what you look like, there's always something about the eyes that's a little, like, maybe they don't outright mismatch, but there's a little different thing going on each time. Cool. And so the person who's going to choose, that's me. Another aspect of your look. I forgot. I'm here too. So you picked mismatching eyes. What is the first one you picked?
Musical voice, because Crystal.
Musical voice. Yeah, that's right. I like. Oh gosh. I want to humanize the enemy a bit. I'm going to say an irreplaceable family heirloom.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can. So to you, they're really real, of course, but to the rest of us, it's a little hard for us to think outside of their hive mind.
Okay, we can do that.
Cool. All right, and then next it's me. I keep forgetting that I'm here and part of the game. So let's see. So for the believer, I also get to choose two qualities. I'm gonna go with romantic. Everyone knows that in my games, I like I like going in that. Is everyone comfortable with that though? Okay. So I'm gonna put in romantic as one, and then for the other quality, oh my gosh, this could go in so many ways. I'm gonna go with tragic. And what is straight? And I think she doesn't know how tragic she is. I'm already putting my character through awful things, and we haven't even started. So, Puckett said you're playing Leandra Santelmo. Yes, Leandra, even though you're not here, you're here with us in spirit. This character is for you. I'm making her a her also. So, Puckett, could you pick a third quality for me? Is that right? Yeah.
Actually, the qualities go to the left, don't they?
That's right. Thank you. So, Sherry. That's right.
I think you've waited this long. You are almost certainly resolute.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. There's a strength to me.
Mhm.
Awesome. I will go ahead and copy resolute. Yeah, I was so tempted to go with awkward, but how can I resist tragic? And next I'm gonna choose aspects of my look. I like. Ooh. I like pale pastel colored skin because I want to be alien-esque. I'll think a bit more about what that means. And then the second one is long hair that's always getting in the way. I have a feeling the hair could even be like somewhat sentient. We'll see. Okay, and now I've done it properly, so that means now it's Puckett's turn.
Stimming habits.
Oh, I was looking at that one. Yeah, all right. I like it. I like it. Yay. So I have stimming habits that help me focus. All right, I'm going to put that in. All right, and then next, that's all I need for my character so far. Puckett, why don't you go ahead while I fix the character keeper just a little bit?
Angry and bitter.
That was so fast. Okay. And straightforward. So I'll pick, is that right? I'll pick the next one.
It is to the left, I believe. So.
Yeah, that's me, right? Gosh, I can do this. To the left. Yeah.
Left.
Yeah. I'm going to pick for you. I want you to be alluring. I think that'll be fun.
Okay. And then the aspects, evidence of a hard life, and where's the other one? A weapon always at ready.
Ooh, cool. And then that means that our captain gets to pick.
I want you to have hair pulled up in a complicated fashion.
All right.
Because I think we have this like theme of hair.
Got it.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's everything that we need to choose. So let's finalize a little bit. Maria, do you have a better idea about your captain?
I have a little bit. I haven't decided on a name yet.
It's okay. Names are the hardest.
Yeah. So I've decided that, and like some of this I think might depend on what we decide, a little bit of like the backstory, but I think that I wear gloves because my right hand is atrophied as a result of like injuries from the last great battle that we fought before. And I threw us into that battle even though our strength was like severely below what our enemies had and we were vastly outnumbered. But I kept saying like, this was our last chance, we have to do this. And now I'm just like, and like it probably went terribly, which is why y'all hate me. And now this is our second last chance. And then I think that in terms of like why my hair being cut short is a statement, like maybe for my family or for like whatever culture I'm in, having long hair is like a sign of like you don't cut your hair until you lose a battle or something. And I cut it short because I lost a battle very, very drastically. Maybe.
Yeah. How do you feel about it being the first time you ever really lost that badly?
Yeah, I think I lost the time when it mattered.
Ooh, I like it. Yes. Delicious. Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to add about your character before we check in with our reformed?
I don't think so yet because I don't know if I know that much yet.
And that's fine. Actually, like the best thing about this game is like we play to find out. So a lot of stuff will come up that will bring up the past, and then from there we can build on it. So it's good to just go in with as much as you need, as little as you need to get started, and trust that the game will figure out the rest with you.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, and how about our Reformed? Have things coalesced a bit?
A little bit. I know that I want her to have been one of many of her kind that were captured, so to try to understand what was going on. And the captain was the one who tried to build trust. And I was the only one that answered. Does that make any sense? The rest of them, blew themselves apart or died, trying to hurt them.
Nice.
I was intrigued. So
very cool.
Is that helpful? Yes, I hope.
Yeah. And I feel like it's probably going to come up, but maybe that's why that last time into battle, you had to fight with the captain against your own kind. So yeah, very cool. All right. And then is there anything else you want to add to the character, Sherry? Like, do you have a name yet? Or if not, it's fine.
Not yet. I'm looking for a picture. That's the desperate part here. So
Yes. I understand how the gauntlet works. So I put a section for images because last time I didn't have one, and then my players just forced an image in the character sheet. I know how important it is. So.
We have our standards.
Yes, absolutely. Makes absolute sense. And then for me, I don't have a name either for my character, so it's fine. I also feel I need to get an image first. But I'm thinking that from what I feel like I've always heard the stories about the captain. I think that last battle, even though it went horribly wrong and it was tragic, I don't think that's what the officials said happened. I think they spun the story so that it was still heroic and that we won. And so my believer believes that the captain is untouchable, is invincible. And I think I'm looking at the romantic aspect. Yeah, I think my character is in love with the captain, but it's a kind of love where like she doesn't think it's going to go anywhere. It's just like it's a lot of it is worship, and she gets that. So we'll see. And in terms of my look, I think I want my skin to be like a pink pastel, pinkish purplish color. And for my people, our hair is like, it's so funny because the captain has short hair that's been cut from, and I have this long, crazy hair. I think my hair is like I think my emotions show through my hair. So even though I try to cover up how I'm feeling, my hair will sort of move. I think I can fight with the hair if I want to. I'm thinking like, oh gosh, I forgot her name from the Marvel comics.
Crystal?
Sorry,
Medusa.
Medusa, there we go. Medusa can use her hair as a weapon, right? Yeah. I'm thinking like that.
So like a cross between Medusa and Blink?
Yeah. That's exactly it. Cool. And so I think my character is like super young. Even for her people, she's like quite young. I think human equivalent would be like 18, 19, like really young and impressionable. I'm still thinking about what the tragedy is, what the tragic part is. I think it'll come up in play. And how about
in the maiden phase of Asari?
Yeah, I'm in the maiden phase of Asari. Sorry, my partner's so excited. He keeps. But thank you, love. So, Puckett, about your character, what has coalesced for you?
Oh, I know who he is. His name is Shade, and the notes that I made about him are that cheap prosthetics replace his left arm and leg, but nothing eases the pain. I used to believe in the captain until they left me in pieces on the battlefield, bleeding out.
Oh gosh, there we go. Straight to the point. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense, I think. Okay, so I think I'm going to give everyone like a couple of minutes to like finalize a few details, like if you want to get pictures um, and so on. I think I have one for my character, but let's give everybody like a minute or so.
Why did I say crystalline? I'm a fool.
I know sometimes like when I'm smarter, I can remember. Look for the picture first, Jamie.
And Tammy, I pasted something into chat for you that might get close to what you're looking for, or at least
Ooh,
give you a starting point.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's so perfect. I'm going to use it. It has a great vibe.
Found my picture. All is right with the world.
Ah, yeah.
Apparently, she has a pet cat.
Oh, that's even better. Oh my gosh, now I need to scroll down. It's great. I like it so much. I love the look of this crew. I think I'm still like trying to settle on a name. But we're probably going to um take a break anyway so that we also have time for the characters to settle. But how about we give it another minute and then we'll take a 10-minute break. Okay. All right. So I think I'm super excited about where we're headed, but I think this is a good point to take a 10-minute break. So we'll be back at 5 after the hour. Oh, okay. We just turned. Okay. Let's make it 6 after the hour. All right. See you guys in a bit. Hello, everybody. Ooh, I like the name you picked out for the captain, Maria. Oh no.
I was going to say hello, and then I was like, oh no, that the tea was hot. Anyway.
Oh gosh. Hello, Sherry. Okay, so I think woohoo, we're good to go. So before we get into it, before we start the game proper, I do want to check in with everyone. We have a game that's called I Never Did Trust You. So this one will lead to possible betrayal. I'd like to check in to see how we feel about it. I think it's okay to jump to it. It's on page 44. Though PDF wise, I think it's like my PDF reader here doesn't have the PDF page. But yeah, so what I'd like to get is a feel for how we like this game. Because with this one, let's skip to the endings. You can see that the endings for this game can lead to, let's see, there's one of us where one of us can die, period, from this game. But it's also quite likely that we can reveal that someone is a traitor in the game. Are we comfortable with having this mini game to be one of the games that we're going to play, or do we want to remove it from play?
I'm okay with keeping it.
We should try it. I mean, we should leave it in there as an option.
Yeah.
And keeping with the captain's name, so say we all.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I'll check in for consent again before the game starts. But yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the games proper. Okay, so let me describe it. The way that it works, there is a bit of structure to this compared to a typical Firebrands hack. We start with the recruitment montage. That is a mandatory game, and we end with Once More Into the Void. That is another mandatory game. This does not count towards what we can choose to play, right? Each of us gets 2 choices. And so just to go over them, but we'll get into more detail. The games that we have to choose from, the choices that we have are Just Like Old Times. This is a battle to prove ourselves. Only one shot to make it right. This is a training montage that includes everybody. Blowing Off Steam, A Night Out with the Crew. Who Do You Think You Are? This is a confrontation. The Last Time We Touched is Possible Intimacy. This is like a crowd favorite from the original Firebrands hack. The original Firebrands game, I mean. So it's in almost every Firebrands hack I've seen. Hardly touched, hardly edited. Next, we have I Never Did Trust You, which we just went over. So this is Possible Betrayal. And Only If We Have the Time Captain is a loyalty mission. So this one focuses on the captain and one of the characters. Of course, the others can come along to go through. This is one of the more complex games to go through a mission. This is based on the loyalty missions from Mass Effect 2, basically. And then, of course, we have Once More Into the Void, the final mission. And so we'll start with the recruitment montage, right? So for the recruitment montage, we're going to recruit each member. So I'm going to read. Actually, I feel like we should have our captain read. So, Captain, could you read our recruitment montage from the setup down to after the montage, please?
All right. Time to practice my reading. So before our story begins, we must recruit the members of our crew for our last mission together. The captain must earn our trust, at least for now. We must agree to go on what could be a suicide mission, at least for now. And you'll need a deck of cards and tokens to play this game. There's a table of contents. Reminders. Keep the montage brief. Focus on visual symbols, one-liners, brief moments of highly charged interactions. Cut through moments quickly. There will be plenty of time later to get into the characters, what makes them tick, and their messy relationships. Create interesting questions, but don't think about the answers. We play to find out more. And then after the montage, when all crew members are recruited, the game begins in earnest. Take turns and choose other games as normal. You can only choose once more into the void once everyone has chosen 2 games to play.
Okay, so Captain, I'll leave it to you. Who would you like to recruit first? The Reformed, the Believer, or the Broken?
Who hates me least / seems easiest to recruit?
That's probably going to be me, to
The
be
Believer,
honest.
yeah.
Unless the Reformed thinks, because I know the Broken is out for like.
Yeah, the Broken will probably be last.
Yeah, we're gonna save that for last. But how do you feel about Sherry? Do you want to go first instead, or?
I would love to see you 2 in action.
The captain's already feeling the pressure. Oh, no.
Yeah, so I really wanted to experiment with this feeling of like having one playbook being kind of like the GM, but not like, but totally not. So let's skip to the Believer on page. I'm so glad these links actually work. Oh my gosh. I mean, I tested them, but okay. So recruiting the Believer, mission C92, visiting school. So this is our setup. The captain asked, go ahead and ask me.
Okay. How are you giving hope to others?
Right now, I think you find me, I am in an open air classroom. I am teaching my students. I'm the youngest teacher here in the academy, and I'm teaching them our way of fighting and combat. I feel like it's really about centering oneself and focusing on the hope we have in our hearts. So the stronger your hope is, the stronger your martial arts prowess is.
How does that reflect my legacy?
Oh yeah, I think when you come in, you can hear me telling people, I'm using you as an example. I don't think it's very popular among the rest of the faculty to use someone who's not from our race. But I always talk about Atlanta Gray, Atalanta Gray, and say how she was the one who hoped the most out of all of us. She was the brightest. She was invincible and undefeatable in battle because she always believed in herself and in others, is what I'm telling my students.
Lies, all lies.
So the Believer asked the captain, let's see. My questions are, how have I unexpectedly matured from the last time you saw me?
I think that, let's see. I think that even though you're telling them all these things about me, about how I had the most hope, I think you also tell them with like sadness on your face. And like they probably ask questions about like, but she lost that last battle, and you say something about like my fallibility, that even those with hope are like can still fall or something. So it's not all positive.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah. And my second question is, how do I betray the naivete that lingers?
I think that you have visual aids, like little dolls or puppets, that like you're still playing with them as toys. Like you haven't been through a battle yourself. You're still kind of like having a little bit of fun reenacting like grand strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even though I'm a really good fighter, I haven't really been in a real battle just yet. Like, because ever since what you did with the crew, the galaxy has been in relative peace since then. So I've never had a chance to test my skills in actual battle. Yeah, okay. And then, so from this point, both the captain and believer briefly describe the setting of the scene, a sentence or two each. I already offered that it's an open air classroom. I feel like there are lots of trees that are also in the bright greens and pinks that my character is. It's an aesthetic of our people. What do you want to offer for the scene?
I think that in the distance, there's like a glass wall that has like images of like famous people. And it's just like flashing like military leaders, like governmental leaders, heroes and stuff in the background.
Cool, cool. I like it. All right. And then, so what we're going to do next for the game is so the captain chooses what happens first. So you can see like there are sections here. Either the students are in awe of the captain, express it loudly. One of the students ask if the rumors are true about us. So you can choose any one of these, and I will choose what happens next. I'll choose from the
Okay.
options below.
Look at my copy.
Yeah, take your time. No rush.
So I can pick in any order.
Yeah, you can pick in any order you like.
I think I'll just start with the first. The students are in awe of the captain and express it loudly.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, cool. And so how do you think they're expressing their awe? Like, how old do you think these students are?
You're from a species that is
Really long lived, yeah. I think
really
we like,
long lived.
yeah,
Okay.
like we live 1,000 years, that sort of thing.
I think I want them to be like the equivalent of like second grade, third grade, some like, so they're pretty young kids. And this is just like history class or something.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and so I'm going to choose what happens, like how the next step. Why not? And I feel like, and one of us feels unworthy and derails the entire lecture. Who do you think it is between the two of us?
I feel unworthy, I think.
Ooh, yeah. Like, I think I turn around to see you and my eyes light up and I'm like, oh gosh, Captain Gray, it's such an honor for you to be here. Oh, everybody gather around. It's Captain Gray. And how do you derail the entire lecture?
I think I have that like charming smile on my face because this is my public face, and I think I just try and I ask them what they've been learning instead of like, so like tell me about the history, like instead of talking about myself.
Right. And I keep asking you and you keep
Yeah.
avoiding it.
You're
Just
like, what?
asking questions instead.
Yep.
I like it. Okay, and then I get to choose another one. Ooh. Why am I? Let's go for tragedy. I think one of the students is revealed to be a spy.
Oh my gosh. They get them so young.
Oh, are we comfortable with this? Do we want to make them older? I can also make another choice.
No, I think it's fine.
Maybe like their parents are the spy, right?
Yeah.
And so since I went here, I will choose how we found out that they were a spy. Like as you're talking, as you're asking questions, I think one of the kids, you can see that they pull up their communicator and they're sending off a signal that the captain is here. And there's just something about it. We can tell that they're calling on someone they're not supposed to. I have like on my wrist, I have an AI that informs me that an unapproved communications is trying to get through to a part of space that we're not supposed to interact with, where the enemy was last seen. So what happens next? So you choose one of the options below.
I think we almost fall into their trap, barely escaping with our lives. Like maybe you get notification and we realize this, but perhaps there are like other agents surrounding the school who, as we're like trying to deal with the fact that they're sending out this communication, maybe try to assassinate us or something.
Yeah, like maybe they all like teleport in all around us, and we're rushing away, we're running away, and I'm trying to protect you. I pull out my psychic blades, and we're just getting out of there. So I'm recruited. We rush into the ship, but there's also a sense that the school has been compromised, that things are not as they seem. Ooh, okay. And then so that's the end of the recruitment, which means that I'm going to ask, we still have some questions. Oh, you start first.
Okay. So what makes you wiser than me?
I wasn't surprised about the student betraying us. I wasn't surprised at their age that they were capable of it. Like, I think when we get back to the ship, you can't get over it. You're like, but they're so young, and what do they know? And I say, but when we believe in our parents and in the adults around us, we don't really understand the gravity of our actions. Like, I don't hold any anger in my heart to that student. So I'm going to ask you, ooh, I wrote this question, but the question I have for you is, why can't I ever truly, what can't I ever truly learn from you?
I don't think you can truly learn calculation, like when a threat is real and has to be dealt with, and when it's worth it.
Yeah, because I could have dealt with the student earlier. Like, okay. It didn't have to get to that point, basically.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now the captain draws a card.
All right. How do I draw a card? Do I just click on it?
Yeah, so that is a good question. Let me share that screen also so people can see it. So basically, you just pull a card from the top of the deck.
Okay.
And then just bring it to the middle. And then just tap it again to reveal it. It's a 7. Oh, that's pretty good, right? So and check it. 7. Yeah, we have 2 tokens. That's good. And the believer decides how to. That's me. Decides how to split the tokens received, if any, between themselves and the captain. You know what? I feel like I'll give all the tokens to you. So because in my mind, I think my character is still a bit too naive about what really happened and stuff like that. So to show that you can, I'm trying to share so many screens at the same time. You can just type in 2. Oh yeah, you already did it. Cool. Next to it. So that's how many tokens you have. All right. And then so we're going to get into our next recruitment as part of the montage. Who would you like to recruit next, Captain?
I will recruit the Reformed. Or
All
yeah,
right.
I think that's who's next.
Yeah. Cool. So this is the hunt. Okay, so go ahead. So we start with the setup again. The captain asks the Reformed.
All right. Who are you running away from?
I think that without you, she had no one. So she has been, what is the word? She has been stowing away and um, lots of petty theft to keep semblance fed and herself, and then like moving ahead of that. And whenever she's recognized for what she is, everyone turning on her and her having to somehow find some way away again with her cat. It would be so easy if it weren't for semblance, but she's taken semblance everywhere with her.
All right. And how do I help you find reprieve?
I think cat food. Just a few cans of cat food and meeting her somewhere where she's at. Yeah.
So I find you like in the like cabin, the cargo cabin of some ship, and like have cat food in my pocket.
Yes.
So, okay.
That is all it takes. All you have to do is charm the cat, and that's it. And I ask you, how have my years of running haunted me? How am I still beautiful?
Haunt me as in you.
I think haunted me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haunted. Okay.
The reformed.
I think your crystalline parts look duller than they have been in the past. Like, because you've been spending all of your time running and using your resources to take care of semblance, that you haven't been taking care of yourself as well. And so instead of being like shiny and like opalescent, you're like dull, and almost sort of parts of you are like breaking off maybe. And then you're still beautiful though, because there's still like that sharpness to the crystalline parts that catch the light.
Okay, and let's see. I think in the scene, in that cargo bay, and it's just like where she ever is, she has a sort of light to her. And so there's a pool of light that slowly, like as she's talking to you, it gets a little bit brighter, little bit almost like it's directional. It reaches between you. Something when you talk to her that there's always been that there's a sort of aura of light that is between whoever she's interacting with.
And I think that like it's entirely dark aside from that. And maybe, well, entirely dark, except maybe there's also like a porthole somewhere nearby. Did we lose?
Power's outside? I think so.
We lost a Jammy.
I feel sad.
Me too.
Should we wait?
Maybe it's their game.
Let's do.
Our real life captain.
Yeah, I know exactly. There's a captain and then there's a captain. So she just needs to. I don't want to try to describe it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Well, the rule we usually followed with Jim is, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's had issues with power outages in the past as well.
Oh, they just slacked me. Internet freaked out, just restarting router. Please go ahead and keep playing.
Okay. Oh, she's back. Yay!
Hello. Sorry, my internet hiccup. Go on.
Okay, where were we?
I think we were just setting a scene. So
Oh, right.
we said we had a bit of a glow between us, and there was a porthole with the stars showing through.
And we're in a cargo hold.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
All right. Okay. I choose what happens first.
Yes.
Our hunters have found us again, and they crashed through violently. I think we can probably see shadows coming through the porthole. And then, yeah.
Yeah, and I think without even thinking about it, she's at your side like we always were. Her crystalline self is a shield and if you need it, a lance, but it's like her hand never leaves your shoulder also.
So is that an Irish cheered, but you prove you never needed me? Or
it's we fight them off together.
Oh, okay.
But I hide my wounds from you.
Okay. Yeah,
did I do the right one? Yeah.
Yeah. And I probably draw a blaster using my left hand. And I think it looks like I probably for show put my right hand there as well, and together we blast/spear lance our way.
All right.
Then you get to pick now.
Let's see here. I think as we race through the ship to get back to yours, innocent bystanders are caught up in our chase.
Oh. And I beg you to leave them behind. No one is truly innocent in this war. I think I just I pull at you and I'm sort of yelling or hissing at you that we have no time. We have to get back. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's a moment where her eyes get really wide and she puts her hand into the wall and you know she's doing something, but you don't know what.
Cool. All right. I ask you, what will make you betray me?
If you leave me again.
Oh. Okay.
And I get to ask you, what makes you trust me anyway?
The fact that the care you've had for semblance, that you've never abandoned semblance.
All right. Now you draw a card.
Oh,
Captain,
yeah.
my captain.
Yeah. Awesome. Let me.
It's a 6.
Oh,
did I? Okay.
No, that's been pretty good. We've been doing pretty well. Okay.
Okay. So we split the tokens as I want.
It is up to you.
Yeah, and I give you one, but I'm going to keep one for semblance.
All right, cool.
For semblance. Oh, so cute. So is semblance like a quotation mark normal cat?
Yeah, I mean, she thinks he is. I don't know.
Because I'm wondering if they're does your kind usually have pets, or is this something strange or unique about you?
I think it's something that I learned on the ship that the captain and the captain's people do. And then once I had semblance, I couldn't not have semblance.
Aw,
It's
I
just
love it. I love
how
it.
it is.
It's so
Gotta have
true.
it on the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Okay,
right.
and then that leaves us for our last.
Time to recruit the broken. All right. Let's look at your names because I do not know character names yet. Oh, Shade. So I will ask you, what about your current state shocks me, and what behavior of yours disgusts or saddens me?
I'm not sure that it terribly shocks you, but I'm in a dark jail cell, and all you can see of me is some prosthetics leaking lubricating fluid and a couple of bodies on the floor with some broken glass from a light bulb around them. Signs that a fight happened not too long before you showed up.
Are you in the jail cell or outside?
Well, I'm in it. I'm very
Okay.
much in it. I'm back in a corner, darkest corner I can find.
Okay.
What evidence of our time together do I try to hide from you?
I think that as part of one of the earlier battles, our crew got tattoos, and I think that you're hiding the fact that you still have yours and haven't done anything to it.
Must have been on the leg I didn't lose when you left me.
Mm-hmm.
What weakness of mine do you exploit?
I think I recognize some of the symptoms of an addiction, and tell me if this is too much, but I think in the same way that I showed up to the Reformed with cat food, I have a drug or something or alcohol that I have brought with me.
You brought drugs to a prison?
I do whatever it takes to get my crew together. If it gets you out, if it gets you with me.
So I believe we're supposed to describe the setting now?
Yeah, is
Or
that
do you think
supposed to
we've done that
say
enough?
broken there?
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, thanks
Okay.
for pointing that out. I'm going to fix that now.
Okay. I feel like we've probably described the scene.
You didn't get a chance to say much about it.
Let's see. I think that there's a futuristic chamber pot that's overturned near you.
I think you had to be escorted by a couple of guards with shock batons because they know how such visits usually go.
The guards saw me with the drugs.
You're the captain.
No, I did it. I was better at sneaking them to you.
I think that because you're the captain, they would allow you a certain amount of lenience and looking the other way than they would anyone else.
I probably ordered them to face the other direction. They have to do what I say because I'm the captain. All right. Do you have anything else to add for the scene?
I think that's a pretty clear setting.
Okay. So then I choose what happens. One of us admits to feelings we never thought we'd say out loud.
And we both let the confession hang between us, the tension finding no release.
So which one of us admitted the feelings?
I'm guessing that would be you.
Yeah, probably. I probably reveal to you that, like, I needed you more than I thought I did. And it's like ambiguous whether that was like I needed you as one of my crew or if I needed you as a person.
Are you talking about then or now? Because you sure ran away from me awful fast and I was bleeding out.
There was no time. Sacrifices have to be made. There was a chance we could win if I left then, and they didn't win, but I couldn't change what I chose.
So what brings you here now? As you can tell, my social calendar is awful busy.
They need us again, and this is our chance to fix what happened.
I don't need to fix anything. I damn near gave my all out there.
I need to fix what
I did.
happened, and I need you to help me.
Well, isn't this a sweet turn of events?
If I was ever your captain,
Oh, and I'm supposed to jump to it now? I don't jump that well, in case you can't tell. These prison cybernetics don't actually work that well. They're more for show than movement.
I don't expect you to fight for me again. I just need you there.
There's a shot that I can watch something happen to you like happened to me. That might be entertaining.
Well, you can't. Well, I guess we should.
Wait for Jamie?
Yeah. See what they say. Last time they said to keep playing, and we are technically recorded. So I guess could keep going?
Could. Is there much else you wanted to do with the scene, or?
Did you choose what happens? Oh, I think for my scene, I was probably done.
Oh, and then choosing what happens next.
Yeah. Because I kind of felt like the next thing I wanted to say was, will you come with me? But that's not really the time
All right.
yet.
Well, while we wait for them to get back, let's see.
Jamie says, kicking the router now. Sad face.
Yeah, they often kick the router. There's two that I'm looking at, and there's one I think I have to go with this one because it's just so much.
There are two that I'm looking at, and I'm wondering which one it is.
One of us offers something of incredible value to manipulate the other. The other one I was looking at was, despite the charm of the place, my fall from grace is obvious.
Ah, yes. Such a charming prison. Did you pick the manipulate the other?
Oh yeah, it's something of incredible value to manipulate the other.
I think I think we both laugh, realizing that despite everything that's happened, this is how we first met.
So what do you offer? Because me being in a prison cell, I mean, what am I going to offer? Like breaking somebody's leg?
Yeah, I think that like maybe like you were my first like executive officer or something, and I gave you I gave you like orders or a letter that basically gave you like diplomatic immunity, because like that's what we, as part of whatever we were doing in the past, like we had these letters that would allow us to basically go anywhere in the system, and like you're supposed to have it as my XO. So this is me being like, hey, if you come with me now, you can have these.
Oh, you just don't know when to quit until you kill somebody, do you? You just keep coming back and trying to use up whatever's left of them.
Do you want these papers or not? This is the last time.
Oh, I promise you it's the last time. What the hell? It'll give me a better class of people to beat the hell out of. Better challenge, anyway.
I'm sure the prison will miss you.
I got something to do on my way out, though.
Just make it fast.
Oh, it'll be quick. And I punch both of the prison screws in the back of the neck.
And I just sigh as I like walk up the stairs or whatever.
They earned that.
Okay. I guess I get to ask you questions again. What do you still love about me?
That you're alive and I have a chance to get even.
Oh, so lovely.
So what faded hope do you see in me?
Well, you didn't say no. And as far as I could tell, you hadn't actually killed any of the guards. So.
I mean, you did turn away, so.
Yeah, maybe I'd rather have a little bit of
Plausible
hope.
deniability?
Yeah. And I will now draw a card. That's a 4.
Okay. Ooh.
What's that mean?
Let's see. So on a 4, take 1 token.
Okay. And
Now,
you...
Jamie, refresh my memory. The tokens can be used by the person to manipulate someone else, correct?
Oh, okay. So in this game, the tokens, we're basically like just earning them as much as we can throughout the games, and then we'll cash them all in later at the final mission.
Okay, so they don't get used by players to manipulate each other. They don't exchange. We don't exchange tokens or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay. In that case, you might as well keep it.
I get the token? Oh, my crew's so nice to me. And I think that was all of the recruitment I had to do. Jammy freeze.
But with a smile.
It's true. Oh no.
I think they're frozen.
They seem to be frozen. Let's see. After kicking the router, what's the escalation?
Calling me to deal with the router.
They were about to say, let's take a 10-minute break.
Well, there you go.
Let me see if that's what they are. All right. Since we just finished the recruitment montage. Yep, and we are going to take a break while they try to fix this.
Awesome. See y'all in about
So,
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So I think I honestly don't understand the router lights. The one that says int seems to be on, but it looks like it's having a seizure. I don't know if that's like it's supposed to be blinking. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, but this is a GM-less game, so worst comes to worst, just play without me. Should be okay. All right, and Bucket's back as well. Okay, so we finished the recruitment montage. And what we're going to do next is everyone gets to pick one game. The only thing I'll say is that the captain cannot pick only if you have the time captain. That's a loyalty mission that the rest of us can pick. And once again, Once More Into the Void is the last game. So does anyone have any ideas for a game they'd like to play? Something that's calling out to them? There's a brief description for each one, but you can also take a look at the games to see if there's one you really like. I think I want my character to like choose blowing off steam, but I think it makes sense to do that like after we've done something that needs steam to be blown off. So if anyone would like to pick anything else, we could start with that first.
Here's an idea. Who do you think we are? Who do you think you are with the new believer?
Oh, okay. So between you and me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Going aggressive. I like it. Okay. So let me jump to that one. Okay. So for who do you think you are? Why don't you go ahead and read out the setup bucket?
Ask your chosen partner how one or both of you got fed up with each other. How did this confrontation start? Others can join freely if it makes sense for their characters to also be present or engage in the confrontation. During the conversation, anyone can ask anyone for details about the relationships and circumstances.
Yeah, makes sense. So what do you feel like is going on? So we're on the captain's ship. We each have our quarters. I think it's pretty easy for me to, because I have this really naive view of who the captain is and how they've helped. And I don't think your part has been talked about in history so much. And I'm upset that you've been so mean to our captain this whole time.
And for my part, I think that I'm upset that you're just a kid getting dragged into something that's likely to get you killed. I'm a broken down old man. I don't much care. But you have a future, or could have one, if it wasn't for the captain.
Ooh, I like it. So does anyone else want to join in the game?
Kind of do.
Yeah.
Kind of want to be part of it, but not like, but like you aren't paying attention to me. Not
I kind of
first.
just want to pop in at the end, potentially to like overhear things, but I don't really need to be there for this. It'll be more fun to watch.
I kind of want Semblance to idly brush up against my shin and kind of like absentmindedly reach down to scratch Semblance's head. I may not like people, but I do like cats.
Cats
I like it.
Easy.
Cats are the best. All right. So let's go to conducting the confrontation. So Puckett, go ahead and read that for us, please.
Decide what the stakes of the fight are, if any. Decide what non-lethal weapons are in your hand, if any. Decide who is watching, if any. When asking questions, your chosen opponent answers. To open the fight, ask a leading question. The one who has more anger in their heart begins. I wonder who that is. At any time after the third leading question, either of you can choose to ask one of the closing questions instead.
Yeah, I like it. And then we can look at ending the confrontation later. So, maybe we can read it now. I'll go ahead and read it. Ending the confrontation. When a closing question is asked, draw a card as described. Decide if you will escalate things further or withdraw from the confrontation for now. So whoever decides to ask the closing question, if they escalate, they can draw a card as needed if they decide to, or they could just withdraw. So I guess we're going to start with you because Shade has the most anger in their heart, I think. So which leading question do you want to start with?
I pointedly ask you about your true intentions. Do you convince me with a lie or confuse me with the truth? And more directly, I say, what the hell are you even doing here, kid?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I forgot to. Do we have any weapons, or what are the stakes?
I think in this case, it's a conflict of rhetoric and words, because I know what lies ahead and you don't, because I've been there. And it's less about a fight between the two of us and more about me trying to spare you from the pain that's in your future, if that makes sense. I don't have any reason to hate you. I don't have any reason to dislike you. You haven't pissed me off besides just agreeing to go on this damn fool mission. So, I have no reason to hurt you, but every reason to try to get you to leave, just to spare yourself. And maybe if I'm enough of an asshole, I can do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the stakes, because Maria typed it in the chat, and I absolutely agree. It's what I was thinking, that the stakes are how much hope I have. I think it'd be hard to say. Yeah, I think it'd be hard to say to lose all of it, but at least to really undermine it, I think.
I think if I cannot get you to basically say, I can't do this, my goal is to have you look at the captain in a colder light and see them for who they actually are.
Yeah. Nice.
So that you're, when the sudden but inevitable betrayal happens, you won't be too surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is taking place, where Garrus hangs out in Mass Effect, like the weapons, the ship's weapons area. I was just playing this yesterday. I forgot what it's called, but and
the cargo hold where they have the vehicles and everything.
Oh no, like the battery, the ship's battery.
Okay, gotcha.
The huge guns, yeah.
Where he's always adjusting the parameters and the configurations.
Yes, the calibrations, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so Zuri is there. Zuri, she's working on it, and then you come in and you ask your questions. Like you ask me, like, what am I doing here? Is that right?
What the hell are you even doing here, kid?
I'm fixing the weapons. Am I not supposed to do that? Like, I don't have to be here.
I mean, what the hell are you doing on this ship?
I'm standing here. Are we supposed to go to another ship?
Right. Obviously, you're new around here. Why did you agree to come on this mission?
Oh, because...
No!
My heart is sad because I will never know.
No! I mean, if this were Mass Effect, that would have been the moment when a massive blast from the collectors or a Reaper just tore straight through the ship, wiping out the battery.
Exactly. So, and I think that, let's see here, then I would have shown up, tried to hold everything together, say, get out of here, you two. That's it.
God, the heroic death to save the newbie and the bitter old man who doesn't want to be there anyway.
Hannah, I don't have to die to do this. That's the thing. That's why I'm so handy.
Oh, you just like form a crystalline matrix around the area of hard vacuum?
Mhm. It's just you two are so soft and squishy.
Oh, I'm less soft and squishy than I used to be.
Maybe more.
More cheap plastic now.
She nods. Even more inflexible than before, if it's even possible.
Well, they don't exactly make cybernetics and prosthetics to be flexible, do they? At least not prison ones.
It sort of stops and she goes, I don't think you caught what I was saying.
I caught it. You're saying that emotionally I'm rigid and I do what I want when I'm set in my ways. And you're not wrong. But also, these are some really awful prosthetics.
They are. I could fix them. I mean, I could replace them.
Welcome back.
Thank you. What did I miss?
There was an explosion.
There was an explosion? What?
Yes. You were knocked to the ground. I saved us. Then we got a combo there.
The last thing you said was, oh, because, and then that's when your router died. And we concluded that would have been the moment in Mass Effect when an explosion from a Collector or Reaper ship tore through that section of the ship. And so Kova was basically replacing hard vacuum with crystals. And then Kova and I were talking about my prosthetics and how Kova could basically upgrade them or replace them.
Oh, I like it. That's so good. I literally had to glare at my router to.
I'm glad that worked, though.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. But yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, I was trying to confuse you with the truth.
And you had said because. So what did you say after that? Or what were you planning to say after that?
Oh, yeah. Because who wouldn't jump at the chance to work with the Captain Gray, the hero of the galaxy? She's amazing.
Anyone with a lick of sense in their head wouldn't have done it. Where do you think I got these from?
Oh, yeah, those are awesome scars of battle. You must be an ancient one who has much to teach the rest of us.
I was laying on the battlefield with half my body blown off when she ran off and left me to bleed out. That's how I got him.
Oh.
She left me to die. I'm here to return the favor if I can.
I'm going to bring up the past in a way I promised I never would. I'm going to say, you mean like how you left my people when we needed your help? I remember the stories about you, Shade. When we asked for your help, you said no, but the captain said yes. So my question is, what do I say to hurt you?
Because I know my response would be, I didn't agree to help. It occurs to me I'm kind of just playing Zaid Masani. I think what you would say to really cut deeply is that based on your reading of the history texts around that battle, didn't you jump in front of the shell that otherwise would have killed the captain? Didn't you actually do this to yourself to defend someone?
Yeah, and so I'll say that, and I'll be like, because the shade that I've read about, that I've heard about, was always putting others before himself. You don't seem like him anymore.
Of course I don't. He was a damn fool. Look at what got him. I don't even know how many habits. Wound up in prison. And you know why it got me out of there? Diplomatic immunity.
Well, at least the captain used her power to help you. That's what makes her so great.
After how long? Captain do anything to help with my pain? Give me better prosthetics or cybernetics?
I'm sure the captain would want to do that for you. You just have to ask her. She would never say no to us.
Yeah, maybe she wouldn't say no, but she sure as hell didn't come looking for me to see if she could help. Not until she needed something.
I don't know. And I think at this point you can see it clearly in Zuri's eyes how much she loves the captain. And I think that's what really, like, you can see it clearly now that the main reason she's here is because she loves her.
I think at this point, I snap and come close to confessing my true feelings for you. Wait a minute, we've already kind of gone over that one, haven't we?
Kinda,
like in
yeah.
the setup, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, kinda. But, if you feel... I feel like I could add to that, though.
Okay.
Unless... Yeah, because, like, the answer is, what are they? I think how you really feel about my character, I think this isn't the first time you've seen someone fall in love with the captain. I think the last person who did died in that battle. And so what you really feel about me is that the captain is weakest when there's someone who loves them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because then they're more concerned with that person and thinking about them than about the tactics.
Like maybe the captain said what she said, but the reason why she left you there was for someone else. What do you think?
Yeah, somebody who'd already run ahead. So it was less about tactics and more about feelings. I like this. Just make sure you never crawl in bed with her.
In bed with the captain?
You didn't know? Seems like every cruise there's at least one.
One what?
Oh, somebody that maybe gets closer than they should. Gets dangerous for them too. No, the router. So we're all agreed at this point that the router is in fact the ultimate enemy that we're fighting?
Exactly.
It's so weird. Like, the router is usually fine.
Yeah, it's
The last time anything like this went on, what she was dealing, they were dealing with, I believe it was some sort of power testing
Mm.
in the area that was like the generators in the building or the power in the building was being tested or updated or something like that. And it kept going out that because of that.
Hmm.
it has to be so frustrating for her.
Yeah.
So
You want to take 5 and come back?
yeah, I think that makes sense. So yeah, because I don't think it makes sense to kind of try to do a conversation against it without. Cause it's so close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just chill here. So,
Same.
are you drinking tea tonight or coffee, Maria?
This is tea. The coffee situation is getting really low, and I need to save the coffee for the morning to be coherent.
Often how it works.
Yeah.
So we've been getting. We're in Iowa, so do you have an Aldi nearby?
We have an Aldi, but it is not nearby.
Okay.
It's like a bit of a drive away. Well, and I live near downtown, so I just like walk most places.
Okay.
And so driving is like extra effort.
I see. Yeah, we've been getting coffee from Aldi because I wouldn't recommend the peanut butter from Aldi, but the coffee from Aldi isn't bad.
Good to know.
Depends on, I think it at least partly depends on exactly what kind of taste and palate you have for coffee. So.
Welcome back.
I'm back at that moment when we're about to end the game. But the glare seems to be consistent. If I do anything else by glare, it doesn't work. So I don't know. I can't keep glaring at the router though.
Well, while you're gone, we concluded the ultimate enemy is the router.
Yes.
The boss fight.
Definitely. But yeah, so we've had 3 exchanges. And you picked the third one, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose to close. I'm gonna choose. I confess that my feelings for you distracted me from the truth.
Now, are you talking about your feelings for me or your feelings for the captain?
My feelings for you, yeah, because I mean, you answered the question of how, but I think my true feelings are, I think that you are being dishonorable because to fall for the captain in battle is one of the highest honors that I could ever hope for, and it's not something I would hold against her. And I think that my feelings for you is that I pity you that you cannot be as honorable as the captain wants you to be. But
Okay.
how does it blind me is the question you answer. Like, how is it distracting me from the truth?
Because you're so busy trying to find reasons why I'm wrong that you're not looking at the reasons why I'm right.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense. And just for fun, I think I want to escalate just for fun. Let's see. So I'm going to draw a card. Let me just show it on the screen. I drew this one, and it is a red card. So a red card means that I reveal something vulnerable to you. As I push back, I'm seeing it's like that BioWare animation of like when they push back against a surface. There's a specific body animation they have. Anyway, so she pushes back against the calibration surface, and I reveal to you, the truth is I have someone back home waiting for me. I have someone who asked me to marry them, but I know I can't. Not until I know if I really have a chance or not with the captain.
Kids. And then do we do the loyalty draw as well?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I will draw a card, and then you get to decide how it's. So I drew a 4. Oh, but so it's one token. Who do you
I'll
think should
take it.
take it? Yeah, I'm pretty loyal. Oh yeah, just to further describe what the tokens represent. So the tokens represent your loyalty to each other, but also our forgiveness for past sins, hope blossoming in the darkness, the readiness to give second chances, how open our heart is, and so on. So we'll see.
So it makes total sense that I have 0 tokens.
Yeah, I was going to say. Okay, so that's let me just check if there was anything we forgot in the game. Let me just use the handy dandy. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and then so I basically, I think what happens to my character is that she realizes she said too much, and she walks out completely flustered, her hair just all over the place, grabbing random things and dropping them as they leave that area of the ship. Okay, so
I smile kind of wickedly.
Definitely. So Puckett's chosen his game for Shade. How about our Reformed or our Captain?
Are you ready? Let's see. Has to be something fast. We don't have long, right?
Yeah, sorry about the internet problems.
No. That's
Yeah. I think what could be fun is only one shot to make it right, because it involves everybody in the training montage.
that would be fun.
Yeah, but there are other choices. I don't want to force that one on you.
No, I think that would be great.
Okay.
I just didn't have a sense of how fast it was.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me just double check. Ooh. I realize it's not that fast though, because everybody gets 2 turns. Maybe we can save the training montage to start with for the next session. Yeah, because fast is a good question.
Blowing off steam, maybe?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick that one, even though my internet is not the best. So in case something happens, just please continue to blow off steam without me. So I'm gonna choose my partner. I'm gonna choose the captain to go with me to the bar.
Man, it's a date.
It's a date.
But not really.
The idea I had was we're going to go to this bar that's connected to a tattoo parlor, which is the worst idea ever.
Oh man.
It's in this really seedy part of the galaxy, because I noticed that Shade had the tattoos that everyone else has, and I want to get it for myself too, because I'm part of the crew now.
Oh man. Okay.
So, but I'd also like everybody to be there. Well, I don't know if Shade wants to go, but I definitely want everybody in the crew to be there. So would Kova come along?
Absolutely.
How about Shade?
I think Shade has been ordered to attend.
I like that.
Yep. Gotta support the newest crew member.
Kofa wears a cloak, though. Head told over, so no one knows.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay, so during the conversation, anyone can ask anyone for details about the relationships or the circumstances. So take turns. The character who's most uncomfortable in the setting takes the first turn. I think that's me. I think I'm all like, yeah, this music, it's great, and no one else is dancing. Like, it's the kind of bar where no one dances, right? On your turn, choose one or more. Choose one or and then choose an action. So either choose an awkward question or reveal something personal. So you can see it on the sides. You can either ask the awkward question or reveal something personal. Or you can just engage in improvised conversation. It doesn't have to be anything that's here. You could get caught up in something happening in the setting. So we are at a bar that's connected to a tattoo parlor. This is a bad part of the sector. I'm sure there are like people getting into fights all the time if you want to or whatever. Or you can choose to leave the conversation. And the conversation ends when everyone is caught up in something or everyone has left. So it's basically one choice after the other. Yeah, so I'm gonna set it up. I'll ask the first one. I'm gonna ask the captain because Shade told me that there was someone else first. So, by the way, I think Zuri, my character, has overdressed for the occasion. So it's this ridiculous amount of glitter and sequins that is like just making me really stand out. So I ask you, Captain, about someone else who's not here, obviously trying to gauge your true feelings about me. Do you go along and give me the answers I seek or feign ignorance and change the subject? Why? So the way it looks is I'm like twirling my hair, and then my hair is twirling another part of my hair on its own. And I'm like, so, Captain, I get to call you Captain now. I heard that there was another person on the crew that you like, was close to. Is it true?
I think that the captain is like in civilian clothes, but you can like, she's been like from a military family and this has been her life. So you can still tell she's like holding herself like apart. And I think that I'm going to feign ignorance and change the subject. Like, and I think it's because like that person that I might have had feelings for in the past, or at least Shade thinks that I felt strongly for, is someone that's distant from me now. Like, it was like maybe in the past I would have died for them, but they didn't feel the same way about me. So like I ran after them in this battle, kind of throwing tactics to the wind, and it turns out that it wasn't worth it. So that's why I'm not answering the question that you are obviously trying to get me to answer, and I just say something like, that's not for you to ask. So what tattoo are you going to get?
Oh, and like I start drinking without realizing. I was thinking about getting what everyone else has, and I look over at Kova, and I'm like, where's yours? I heard everyone in the crew has one.
Sherry, you're muted.
Sorry, I'll just answer the phone real quick, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So I think she leans over and she goes, "Oh, that's right," and you'll just see it sort of like kind of come up to the surface on her skin, and it comes up all in crystal, like diamonds have been embedded in that shape, and then sort of smooths out to look like the tattoos that yours do. That's it. She goes, "I almost forgot."
I'm surprised you still have it.
It was precious to me at one time. I can tell. and look at the captain and go, but they were precious to you at one time.
And I think the captain, or Atalanta, is like, things change. After we lost the battle, things changed. Priorities are different now.
And she taps the tattoo and lets it go down beneath her skin again. And she goes, but you still remember, it's still precious.
And I think I look at Zuri and I'm like, whatever it is, it has to have meaning. You can't chug that drink you're holding and take one.
Oh, yeah. I've been thinking. I've been dreaming about getting that tattoo for. I told myself if I ever got to meet you, and
Oh no! Glare at the router. Glare at it. Jamie just said, Zuri's just dancing by herself in the middle of the bar. Everyone, please go ahead with their turns. So maybe like the music gets really loud and someone like grabs Zuri away. So in the story, that's why.
I'll happily bring up an unpleasant memory between the captain and I.
Oh, great. So pleased.
Funny you didn't seem to want to tell the kid about Kovac. You
Kid
were all
doesn't
too
need-
keen to go rushing after her and leave me to bleed out.
Kovac was our best fighter. If I didn't save her, we had no hope.
I think you mean if you didn't save her, your bed was going to be awful cold.
Shade. You know that's not all I care about. You know that in terms of priorities, winning the battle was always more important to me.
Yeah, I came second to her. And I came somewhere around 17th, apparently.
Look, she was the one that had the info that we needed. I couldn't let that.
You couldn't stop to stabilize me to make sure I wasn't going to die?
Time. There wasn't enough time. I had to make a choice. I took the choice.
Yeah, you made the choice based on what your heart said instead of what your brain said.
And I just like look away. Because I mean, that's probably true.
I'm just going to make this real clear, Captain. Any harm comes to that kid, she worships you. She idolizes you. Any harm comes to her because you're too busy making time with whoever, because you're not thinking clear, because you don't have your head in the game, because you've got your head in somebody else's pants. I will end you.
My head is in this game. I am the reason we're doing this in the first place. I wouldn't do that if there was anyone else that I cared about.
Good to know you don't give a shit about any of us. Lets me know where I stand.
And like the captain just like slams her drink on the table, the bar.
I don't understand. You're you're still here. Shade. So you didn't bleed out. So someone helped. Isn't it a proper delegation?
A random medic came up and saw that I lost my leg and my arm.
So that was the medic's job, right?
Captain was the one who was closest.
Captain is not a medic.
Captain also shouldn't be running around on a battlefield trying to get themselves killed. It's a job for soldiers.
Captain had gone. Look at the captain. This is very complicated.
I sigh and I say, Kova, this is not your fight. It's between me and Shade.
Oh. Well, then you should duel.
Well, that's a splendid idea.
Did someone say duel? Woo! And I'm like, there, like, let's go, let's fight. We're in a bar, yeah.
It's like, essentially you can see a uniform on me at this point, even though I'm not actually wearing one. I just like glare at Zuri.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
What if, as Zuri's like cheering about the prospect of a duel, she inadvertently bumps into a patron and starts a bar fight, interrupting our drama and making us have to deal with the people around us?
Yeah.
To protect her.
Yep. That sounds like a thing that 100% would happen.
Sherry, what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, sure. She jumps up on top of the table and takes a running leap. So, yeah.
Yes, I'm game for it.
All right.
I find the meanest looking people in there and point to a tattoo on my cheek and say, "You recognize this?" And they try to act hard and say, "What, so you got a tattoo on your cheek?" That's from the Supermax slam outside Centauri 7. Anybody who has this who's never done time there gets killed by anybody who has. You might want to leave.
I think that I'm like probably not going to use a blaster in this close range, but because I am like weaker than I was before, I think you can see that I'm like not throwing myself into the fight as much as I would have before. And when I am, it's like awkwardly using like my left side. So like my punches or thrusts aren't as strong as they used to be.
Awesome. Has everyone taken a turn yet? Has Kova?
I think I've talked a little bit, but I think, yeah, in the fight, she is her old athletic self. And she jumps through things and takes all the hits. And when someone's leaning on the captain too much, you see she pops up and bam, and then, goes back running. Very enthusiastic for the whole bar fight thing, because at least she understands that's going on.
Because it's straightforward. Awesome. Yeah, so Zuri is enjoying the fight, just like taking out her hair and her psychic daggers. Woo! This is great. This is fantastic, Captain. I've always dreamed about this. Like just going into it. Are all three of us in the fight at this point, or is Shay just scaring people from the sidelines?
Oh no, I'm very much in the fight. What you see me doing is maximum joint damage. Like I'm using my cybernetics and like breaking arms and that sort of thing. Like there's people in the end that decided to jump in on this that are not going to be walking right for years to come. I'm putting people down hard.
Nice. So Captain, you are still technically not in the fight. You can still choose one of the other options if you like, or you can join us in the fight, or you can leave, however you like.
I think I'm like, I think like I feel like I can't contribute to a fight that well. Like I'm trying, but not very, very well. So I might kind of sneak away.
Oh yeah, that's so great and awful. I love it.
Yeah.
Proving Shade's point.
Yep.
I like it. So technically the conversation, that is the fastest I've seen us go into a bar fight. But I love it. So technically the conversation is ended. And everyone draws a card. So this website is a little tricky. We'll have to do it one at a time. So we'll just go in like order of the video. I will draw one. Oh, did someone draw already? Ooh, whose is that? Is that mine? Where's this card here? I guess I'll just get it. Oh no, this one was the 4 drawn earlier? Okay, I'll just get it now.
The 4 of diamonds? That's been out there for a while.
Oh no, 4 of clubs.
I think that's new.
Yeah, okay, so I'll get that one. So that means 1 token. And each player who drew decides how to split the tokens received, if any. I had a great time. I have this great tattoo that's really infected. I'm going to be feverish for a few hours before the pain stims get in. I think I got, where did I get the tattoo? I think I got it in my upper thigh, which is ridiculous. But I'm getting the 1 token. Next, Kova.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, draw a card, and then we'll see.
5 of diamonds. Set 2.
Let's see. 5 is 2 tokens. That's right. How do you want to split it?
I will keep 1, and I will give 1 to the captain.
Nice. And then our captain draws a card.
All right. That's a queen. A thing happens.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So a royal. Introduce a complication. Choose. Give 1 token to minimize it or gain 1 token to deepen it.
I'll introduce a complication.
Yeah. Maybe it happens while you're leaving.
Yeah. As I'm leaving the bar, I run into Kovac, who was the person that Shade thinks that I had feelings for once. And I don't even know if they probably recognize me. But I don't know if I say anything. Like, I don't know how much we acknowledge that. It might have just been like a brush by. So I'm going to give 1 token to minimize this complication.
Ooh.
Actually, I'll deepen the complication.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is the first time I've ever seen you minimize something.
Yeah, I don't want it. That's not a thing that I would do. I'm going to deepen it. And like, maybe like they get in the fight and see Shade and, talk or something.
Yeah, I saw the captain leaving just now.
I like it.
That's even better than Zuri seeing the captain leaving.
Yeah.
Seeing the captain abandoning the crew to the bar fight.
Yeah.
I like it. She just had to draw a royal. I love it.
Yeah.
And Shade, you draw a card as well.
Alrighty. There's King of Spades. what would be a fun complication? You know what? Sherry, why don't you draw while I think?
Excuse me? I didn't hear that.
Oh, I said, why don't you go ahead and draw while I think about what a fun complication
I
would
already
be?
drew.
Oh.
Yeah.
So am I last?
Yeah. I do have an idea for you.
I was thinking either something with like Friends of the Prison Guards that I took out, or I really think it'd be interesting if Kovac became a member of the crew.
Yeah.
Jumping in for one last job.
I'm wondering if the complication I was going to suggest is that you call it Kovac.
I really like that. The only question that I would have there is, considering how long I was in the Supermax, would I even know where to find Kovac at that point?
Ooh. Yeah, well, we've been out for a while. We've been out for at least a few days. Maybe you sent out a message. There's a way that we can contact each other if we need to. Like, you and
Maybe.
Kovac were close.
Said, there's like this kid on here. We need, it's like the captain's trying to get a crew back together, but there's this kid. I need somebody to watch my back type thing.
Yeah, I like it.
How do the rest of you feel about it?
Sounds great. Kova likes Kovac. It's like they have the same, but not.
Okay, let's do that. That'll be fun.
Cool. And then we can decide the next session we can get into Kovac a little more and describe them. I like the idea of introducing an NPC who's going to be around. That's very cool.
I like Maria's chat to this like entire game. It's just been like, oh no, oh my God, why is my crew like this? No.
Yeah, if only people can see the chat. But yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to end it there. So I know we only got into 2 games, right? I'm hopeful that number 1, my internet will be better next week, and number 2, it'll be just a bit smoother next time. I think we should still be able to fit everything in the time allotted. But I'm going to stop the recording now, and then we'll decompress, debrief. So everybody who's listening or watching, thank you so much. That was the first session of Once More Into the Void. We got to go through character creation, the recruitment montage, and we got to play 2 games. And we got to have a lot of great complications. I can't wait to get into it, especially to see more of Kova and our captain at the next session. All right. So thank you so much for watching and listening, everybody. Bye-bye.